name is Julie Velandia, and I am going to be talking to you today about stress management and some stress relieving techniques and some technology devices that that might be used that can be used to relieve stress. First, let's define what stress is. So, stress is defined as the state of emotional or mental strain or tension, often caused by adverse or very demanding circumstances. So, stress is defined as an emotional state of mind where you just feel you feel overwhelmed. You feel like you feel tense and overwhelmed, and it can be caused by by multiple things. We're gonna get to that in a minute. Um, so stress is someone trying to repair every situation solo. Is stress is someone trying to do everything solo. So stress can be caused by different situations. I'm only gonna name some of the most common ones, but there's way more than that. So when you have multiple tasks at once. In our case, we have I, I think we're all on the same page where we have like tons of homework from multiple classes. Um, and it's not just one assignment. It's like multiple assignments, like projects and tests and then you also have to deal with work. So on top of school, you do work. Um, so you kind of feel overwhelmed sometimes. And then there's also maybe your state of mind at the moment is not the best. Maybe you're going through something at home or in your personal life or at work. God only knows. And money can cause stress too because you're focusing on two or more things. You're focusing on whatever is happening and trying to get everything right, and it doesn't work that way. We also get stressed out under uncertain situations and fear more than likely. You feel stressed out a lot of the times when you're afraid of what you don't know. Actually, everybody feels stressed out about not knowing, about the unknown. Um, and then you doubt, you doubt everything. You doubt yourself. You doubt it comes with the stress. Change can be difficult and it can be very stressful. Um, getting to a new place, trying to fit in, that all causes stress. See, because you're not only in situations like that, you're not only thinking about being you, but you're thinking about fitting in and hoping people will like you the way you are. And then deadlines. When you have deadlines, it's just horrible. But these are only a few. I mean, there's tons and tons, and there are more explicit medical reasons why. I mean, I'm just naming a few situations, things that have happened to me. Now I'm gonna talk about some things that I do to relieve stress that I think are helpful. So just some techniques, and it's just things that I do when I'm under stress, when I'm stressed out. So I always try to like pause what I'm doing and just breathe in and breathe out. Because when you're stressed out, you kind of also feel your heart racing. So you wanna just stop and breathe. Inhale, exhale. Squeeze the stressful. I have one at work and it helps sometimes when I'm like really stressed out. I just squeeze it, and it kind of helps. So I just put that out there. The stress ball, very helpful. And take a break if it is necessary to just take a break. If you feel like you just can't, like none of this work, maybe taking a break of what you're doing works. You can do some yoga. You can listen to music. And laughing is just super important. It is the best stress reliever you could ever have. Find funny videos. Laugh. You have no idea how relieved you feel after you have a good laugh. These are some outdoor activities that you can do. You can go for a jog. You can exercise. You can even do that indoors. I mean, and then well, under our current situation, go to the beach is not an option, but going to the beach would have been a very good option. I guess you can say virtually go to the beach. And remember, to resist the urge to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. No one is perfect. I know that sometimes we want to think that we are, but we're not. No one is perfect. Everything is one step at a time. Don't do everything at once. Try to take everything one step at a time. Do one thing at a time, and it'll work out. And then if somebody gives you advice, I would consider taking it only because they might be looking at things in a different way than you are. They're not the ones that are stressed out. You are, so maybe they're looking at it with a clearer mind. Um, so you might want to take advice if given one when you're when you're stressed out. So here are some techniques to manage the stress. We're gonna go into how to manage the stress. Now this works for pretty much. This works everywhere. This works pretty much. Keep your work area organized. So a couple of techniques over here to manage stress are: the first one is to keep your work area organized. If your work, keep it organized. The needed looks and the organized looks are better because you know where everything is. If you have papers everywhere, like my office right now, it's impossible to find things. It's nearly impossible to find things. But yeah, have your area organized. Be it at home, be it at work, be it in the car, just be organized. Always have a to-do list. To-do lists are very important. You wanna write down step by step everything that you need to do, and as you do it, just crash it out. You'll feel so good when you don't. You'll feel so good when you see the end of the list. You finally get to scratch that last item. You feel like victory. The most important rule to follow is this: stop, take a breath, observe, and proceed. You always want to stop. If you feel stressed out, stop what you're doing, breathe in, breathe out, observe your situation. What is it? What's going on? What is your situation? You know? And then proceed. Come up with a plan of action and do it. I found that I found that are able to help you relieve some stress. So the first one is the leave. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct, but it's a smart patch, and what it does is you put it anywhere. You put it anywhere in your body, be it on your head or on your um, chest area. And what it does is when you're it measures the leaf measures your breath and your heart rate, and when your body gets out of sync. So when you're calm, your heart rate and your breaths, everything seems synchronized. When you're stressed out, it just unsynchronizes. It just heart rate goes up, your breathing becomes heavier, and what the leaf smart patch does is it sends you kind of like a vibration, notifies you that your body is kind of out of control, I guess we can call it, and then it starts rhythmic vibration, so you can breathe in and breathe out as you follow as the vibrations go in and out, and the idea is to help you regulate your breathing and your body so that you are more calm and relaxed. The thing is similar to the patch. This one is just basically um, you put it on your head, or on your back over here on the nerves on the in between the neck and the back. So where it starts a little bone right there. And what it does is pretty much the same thing as sleep. It measures your heart rate, your heart rate and your breathing. And if it gets out of control, it sends you um, a pulse, and it helps you kind of regulate it. It kind of snaps you out of this one. It snaps you out of what makes you stressed out, and then it helps you regulate your breathing by doing kind of like the same thing as it like it's just it vibrates so you can follow the rhythm and breathe in, breathe out, and kind of calm down as you go. The Wellbe bracelet. The Wellbe bracelet, what it does is it's a bracelet you put it on, and it measures your heart rate. If it goes up, then the bracelet would vibrate, and it would start kind of counting your breaths and your heart rate, so that the more you breathe in and breathe out, and the more you try to think of something else or do something else to get relaxed, the the slower the vibrations, and the more you know that your body is getting back to normal. The Muse is a brain sensing headband. So the way it works is you put it on your head, and it is supposed to measure your brain waves as you, because you know when you're suicide, your brain waves are all over the place. They just go, yeah, your brain waves are a little bit erratic. So what it does is it measures your brain waves and it sends you a signal. It sends a signal to your nerves to stop being, stop tensing and kind of let go. And then the same thing as the other ones. It just makes you kind of breathing and breathe out, because breathing is uh, the most important thing when you're stressed. I just breathe in, breathe out, and it'll everything kind of relaxes. The Sona wristband is pretty much similar to the Wellbe brand, the Wellbe band. So this Sona wristband, what it does is the same thing. You put it on and it measures your heart rate, and but this one also measures your breathing, your breaths per minute, because they're supposed to be, like I said, they're supposed to be synchronized with your heart rate, and when they're not, um, it signals the body to kind of get back in rhythm. It gives you a little chuck, um, and it helps you kind of focus back on put yourself back on track in terms of your body relaxing. The fidget cube, I love the fidget cube. It's basically like the fidget spinner. So all you do is you can press it. You can squeeze the little buttons on the side, or you can roll the little um what's the name of that, wheels on the side. You can even touch the little metal metallic sphere on the side. It just, the fact that you're moving and you're moving your hands, or doing, or pressing and squeezing, it kind of helps you redirect all that stress and just let it out from the palm of your hands. And like, um it's really fun. I love the fidget cube. I actually have a fidget spinner as well, but with your hand, it kind of helps you um stop thinking about what was making you stress. So the next two items are the bio terrarium and the pip device. So the bear bio air terrarium. I'm sorry, I apologize. Don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm trying my best. It's basically a sphere, a little sphere dome with a scene, beautiful scenario, uh, beautiful and peaceful scenario. Where what you can do is, if you're stressed out, you just like turn your, stop what you're doing and look at the terrarium and just imagine yourself at that place. And just think about all the, like, the natural noise, the birds flying, um, the smell of the leaves and the wind, and it takes your mind off of that, takes your mind off of whatever was stressing you out, and it makes you feel like you're in that area, in that environment from the terrarium. Um, I've actually never seen one, but I've read that they were really good too. So, and then the pip device. It's a little. It looks like a guitar pick, and what you do is, the way it works is, you put it in between your index finger and your thumb, and you squeeze on it. And it's kind of like the squeeze, like it's like the stress squeeze ball, except you're squeezing, and the two lights on the top, they light up. So they kind of takes your mind off of what was stressing you out, and it helps you kind of release that on from your thumb, from your, helps you do something to release it. So it's really good. I like the fact that it looks like a guitar pick. It's just small and practical. The face of the moon is stressful. I find that very funny. It's just basically a stress ball with the face, and then what you do is you just squish the stress ball to make a face, a different kind of face. Thus, the multiple faces on the image, and it's supposed to make you laugh. Remember that I said that laughter is one of the best medicines for relieving stress. So it's supposed to make it. The idea is to enjoy the stress ball by laughing at the multiple faces you can create. It's really good. And then the Aspire is basically kind of like it's a clip, and what it does is it measures your heart rate and your breaths per minute, and it gives you a little pulse to kind of remind you that you're not, that your body, to remind you, I guess, to breathe, and to kind of like pause and just step away for a moment. Um, it's good too, but I prefer the stress ball or the fidget cube. I find, at least for me, I find that if I'm touching something, it release it better than not, or even the pip. The pip device is actually good too. Um, to summarize, um, remember to slow down. Always be positive, 100% positive, even when you're fine, even in stress. Try to be positive. I know that it is hard because when you're stressed out, it's just a million thoughts, and a lot of the times it's a million thoughts, but a million things to do, and you don't even know where to start. So whenever you feel that way, you just try to think of something positive, and think of something positive. Think of all the positive things that can happen after you're done with that one thing, or and focus on one thing, and it'll be smoother. You'll find a point where you can relax a little. Always believe in yourself. My mom always tells me, always say that you can do something. Even if you feel that you can't, always say that you can. Nothing is ever nothing is ever big enough to stop you. Always think about that. There's nothing out there that can break you unless you let it. So believe in yourself, be confident in yourself. Remember, you can do it. You know it, you can do it, then go for it. Take care of your body. If you're starting to feel, if you start to feel kind of panicky, Just it's what I call it when I'm getting stressed out, because it's similar to when you panic. Just step away from what you're doing and just if you want to walk it out, you can walk it out too. Just breathe, walk it out, put some water on your face, try to like get your body to settle. If you wanna talk to somebody, call a friend or a mentor, somebody you can release all your stress out, and even get angry at that, they won't get angry back at you. And if you ever need help, ask for it. There's no shame on asking for help. Everybody needs help once in a while. So, and if you find that what you're doing or the plan that you have right now for accomplishing that objective isn't working, try to look at it from a different way and try to find a different strategy. It'll help you. It'll help you calm down. It'll help you see things clearer, and it'll help you finish that objective. And remember, smile, laugh, laugh out loud. Just enjoy every bit of it, and by it I mean every bit of the situation that you're in. Try to find something positive and something funny, or fun about it, so that you can find something to laugh at. And remember, the more we stimulate our brain by smiling, the more often we feel relaxed, happier and relaxed. So remember that you can do it. Well, I'm sorry. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I hope this was a bit of an informative yet enjoyable presentation. Um, if I mispronounce something, I apologize. And well, thank you for listening.